Hey everybody, it's Mark here at Garrett's Guitars in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I'm here to talk about this, the Fender Tone Master FR-10. FR is for full range. It's in the Tone Master series, meaning it's Class D amplification, no tubes necessary, and its original intent was to go with the Tone Master Pro modeling amplifiers, but it has a lot more uses than that. Every once in a while, Fender comes around with something that accidentally is more useful than they intended. For example, you'll have the Pro Junior, which was supposed to be a littler version of the Blues Junior. It's great. I think it's a great amp, and it's cheaper than the Blues Junior, and I think it sounds better. And a lot of people get a lot of use out of those, and pros use them for sure. Remember the Super Champ X2? That was a little combo practice amp kind of thing that retailed for like $200. And it was great. It had some digital effects on it. It had some tubes. It used to come in a head with a cab format as well. And we used to just buy the cabs to have extra. It was a 12-inch cab. Just to have cheap, good 12-inch cabs around, we used to buy those cabs separate of the amplifiers. They no longer make that. Maybe it was too popular. But here's something that is pretty cool, and it's more useful, like I said, than originally intended. So what's intended for is to run your modeling amp through, so that when you're on stage, for example, or wherever you happen to find yourself, that there's something that has your guitar sound coming out of it. This is a big problem in live music lately, I find, is when you go to a show and it's all side fills and front fills, and there's no bass and guitar on the stage coming at you from the stage. It does hollow out the sound a little. And if you sit too close sometimes and that balance isn't perfect in the room, you just kind of hear the drummer and the one guy who brought a guitar amp, and that's kind of it. You can hardly hear a lot of stuff, and you got to kind of back up in order. So it's a pet peeve of mine, and this fixes that problem because you have something to plug your modeling amp into. You don't have to rely on what might be an unreliable local sound engineer, or have it going through 6 monitor speakers in all different places, as well as the front of the house, and bouncing back, and then phase cancels out in weird ways because it's going out the drummer's monitor around the back of your head and bouncing off that wall, and then it's coming out twice as loud out of your monitor as the one next to you. And I think that's terrible. I never enjoy those situations. So I always bring something, even if we're largely going through the PA. I bring a guitar amp, usually. Bring something that, even when I'm using the Tone Master, I have the speaker on. Because I want something that sounds like my amp near me. You can touch the knobs if you have to. Every room has a different equalization curve to it. So having a last-minute EQ correction over everything before it goes out is great as well. So in steps the Tone Master FR-10. FR is for full range. It's a full range amp. So the alternative, if you're using a modeling amp and going into the PA, some people would used to have to they bring full range kind of PA speakers, monitor speakers, and set them up with the guitar coming out of it, like maybe wedge them at the monitor or put them up in the air. It looked a little weird, I guess, and I'm not mean to call you weird if that's what you do, but this is a guitar amp. It has the stylings of a Fender amp. It's got the Fender logo. It's got the Tone Master down here. It's got the Fender Jewel light. It works like a guitar amp, and it makes your modeling system work more like a traditional guitar setup. So bravo, Fender. Now, here's what it also does. That's not in. Well, you can use it for something other than the Tone Master. So you can use it with a different modeler, but you can also use it with a pedal board, as long as you have a preamp at the end of your pedal board to give it some boost, because this is lacking the first stage of preamping. So it's a power amp with some EQ. It's a light preamping, but it doesn't have a lot of gain because it has the gain coming into it. But if you throw a little gain into it, just some clean gain at the end of your pedal board, you can just use your regular pedal board with something like this, and it's going to sound great, and it gives a very full range sound, which I like for a guitar. I have a Tone Master Deluxe Reverb, and the only thing that I really tell people how it sounds different than the traditional tube Deluxe Reverb is it's a little more full range, a little more low, a little more highs. Especially the Deluxe Reverb, tends to round off the equalization on both sides. So it's very useful for that. It's also useful. You can play keyboards into it. You can play an acoustic guitar into it. It's a great little thing to have in your arsenal. It's inexpensive compared to the Tone Master, the damn Tone Master Pro, which is thousands of dollars. And then also, even compared to what they're getting for a Blues Deluxe, is more than this. Or even let's say a Blues Junior, right? Is now, I can't remember the retail on it, but it's getting up there, 800-ish. This is $599 retail. I find it to be very useful. I find it to be stylish and cool looking. It's pretty lightweight for a guitar amp. So what we'll do is we'll take a little walk around and just show you the features it does have. It doesn't have a lot of features, but I kind of like that too in an amplifier. That's why I like that Pro Junior. Volume and tone. And go. So let's take a little walk around and see what this has to offer. Okay, as I said, what that kind of classic Fender look. I guess it's classic now. It's it came from the '90s, that Blues Deluxe kind of look. The Tone Master badge, but on top here you get a Fender jewel light, which is pretty darn cool. Or traditional toggle for the volume. Now for the on-off power. Over here, volume and 3-band active EQ. So what you do with this is you have cut and boost, and there's a little notch in the middle of each. Pretty handy. This cut control is a high-end cut in case the signal is a little too full range. If it's if you're using the kickback legs pointing at your ear, this kind of helps you sculpt the high end a little bit. I find myself finding a place where I like it and leaving it there. Kickback legs. Did I mention kickback legs? This thing's got kickback legs. So you can really point it at yourself, get it up into the air on the stage. That's something that Leo Fender invented, way back when. And for his amplifiers, it's a great idea. The back panel has an input on the back panel. It's either 1/4 inch or XLR. An output and with a ground lift, and that would assembly go to a PA. And that's it. The power in. Pretty simple. There's a bit of elegance to it, even though it's a digital amp. FR-10 simply stands for 10-inch speaker. So, here we are. I like it. I think it's a good value, at least at today's prices. I would feel comfortable having it around as a piece of my arsenal. And I recommend it, especially if you do modeling, which I don't do, but it's useful even if you don't do modeling. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you soon.